Hi, Julie Torrance here. Well, I've got some black archival ink. I've got my Amazon Basics watercolor. This is just some printer paper that we're going to use because I'm going to use it. You don't need it. But I'm going to be going back to, remember these? Back to basics. But this time, we're going to make our ladies, because we're going to make dolls that are dressed up dolls. Those were the dancing dolls. This is the dressed up dolls. So you're going to just need an oval for a head. You're going to need a little throat or a little neck, some shoulders, some arms, nothing fancy, and then body, hips. That's it. So I know you can do this. I know that it may seem hard, but it's not hard. So that's going to be our basic drawing. Okay, now let's get watercolor paper, and this is my Amazon Basics, or whatever paper you have that's designed, I gotta wiggle this a bit, that's designed to get wet. So it could be mixed media paper, it could be some other type of paper, cardstock. I don't find that works well with watercolor. Now the fan watercolors that I have seem to be a fan favorite, so I pulled those out again. Whatever watercolors you have is fine. I've got my palette, and yeah, there's some old paint in there, but it's still good. So if I wish I had it, may use it, may not. Okay, let's get started with our ladies. And I think I'm gonna make 3. So I'm gonna start with an oval and an oval and an oval. And, tilt them any way you want. Throat, throat, throat. Shoulders, shoulders, shoulders. I'm going to leave off the arms for right now just because we're going to get so many lines that it's going to get confusing. But I'm going to give myself a body and some hips. And the hips are about the same as the shoulders, but it's just a guideline. It's just a guideline. All right, pencil away. Now, I've got the archival ink. I picked black because I figured most people have black. Pick any color you want. It's not going to matter. However, this is waterproof when it's dry. If you're using a distress type of ink pad or another type of a dye-based ink, it may run a little bit when we do some watercolor, but don't worry about it. You're not going to erase it, I don't think. So I've also got some stamps, and I've got 2 stamping blocks, and then I've got my ruler, but it's an acrylic ruler that works good for bigger stamps. I've got some littler stamps, a couple of flower stamps. One is a flower facing kind of us, and then this is a sideways one. I also pulled out a couple of what I call flourish. These are kind of a flourishy stamp. This isn't the package it came in. I'm not even sure why I put it in here, but it's in here. This I know is an indigo blue stamp, and I got it in a lot set. And then I took another, indigo blue, another flourish stamp. I don't know if Indigo Blue still makes these, but I know they make a lot of different stamps. They're based in the UK, but I love their stamps very much. Love the designs, all of it. Okay, so what are we going to do with these? We're going to dress up our girls. Yes, we are. So I'm going to start with the flourish stamp since it's in my hand. These are designed to stick. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But today, it's sticking. All right, I'm going to ink it up. Can you see me? I'm just inking it up. I am not a professional stamper, so if it's not perfect, I'm not worried about it. All right, so these are my hips, so my waist is going to be about there. So I'm going to hit this about where the waist would be. And here we go. Perfect. Now this paper is cold pressed, so it's bumpy. So I'm not going to get as good of a stamp as you would. Maybe you have hot press, and if you have hot press paper, then it's smooth like printer paper, and you'll get a different result. Okay, keeping at the waist, and I'm going to put her dress like this. There we go. And lift. Nice. Okay, there's one dress. Now, let's give this dress a top. I like a half flower like this for a top. This I know came from a Tim Holtz package. I don't remember the name of it. It's very old. I'm going to turn it upside down, putting it back at the waist, give it a press, and there. It looks a little thin to me. You know what I mean? Like, not much fabric. So I'm going to do it again. Just going to have kind of a ruffly top. And by just turning it ever so slightly, I'm going to get lines where I didn't have lines. Okay, there's one dress. I love it. Okay, let's work on her dress. I've got this in my hand. Let's start with this. And I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go here. Okay, now this dress is very it's very full, and it's kind of taken over, which is great. So what am I going to do about that? I'm going to get a piece of this, just printer paper, and I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to just basically outline this dress. Can't even see what's up this way. Okay. Kind of like that. All right. And grab some scissors. Now, Julie, you should have your fussy cutting done. I didn't have the dress done. So you see, you want to see the process. And so do I. I like seeing the process of people, what they're doing. And I like to hear what they have to say about it. So this is not complicated, right? We're not complicating anything. We're just gonna give this dress its due space. Now, if you want this girl in front, then you would start with her. I wanted the middle one in front, so I'm going to start with her. And which way does this go? Do we know? I think it goes like this. There we go. Okay. And I am just going to take a bit of washi tape. Now, I'm not going to put it on the edge unless I can find an edge that, we're not going to stamp on top. See, if I put it here, I'll block her dress. So I'm just going to put it here, very light, and here we go. Now let's finish her dress. We could use that same half flower. That would be pretty. or we could use a whole flower. Let's do that. Put it on the right way, Julie. There you go. Black ink. And now I'm just gonna fill in her dress. I realize that some of these flowers are more on the mask, that's what this is called, than on the dress, but that's okay. Where it peeks out, we're gonna love it. All right, there's her dress. She needs a top of her dress. I think this is perfect. I'm gonna put it just like that with her shoulders. There. Okay, there's our second dress. Now we've got a dress over here. And I'm gonna grab a different flourish stamp. Look at this one. And get my ruler. Now, this has holes in it, and so it's not gonna wanna stamp as well where those holes are. I don't care. It'll be fine. It'll be gorgeous. Okay, back in the black ink. Nice. And her waist about midway. And I'm going to say she's kind of doing this motion. So I'm going to put her dress this way. Now, we've got lines going everywhere. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. Oh, pretty. Pretty. Okay. And I'm going to give her one more. And it's just going to be this way at her waist-ish. Good. That's fine. All right. This came out awfully faint. Don't know why, but what I'm going to do about that, because you may have that kind of a thing too, is I'm going to grab my Sharpie. I'm not so worried about it in here, but right here, and I'm not going to draw, I'm going to dot. And I'm just going to add some dots. Just like this. Just to kind of fill it in a little bit. They're the lines that are provided, they're there. So I don't have to like come up with it on my own. The pattern's there. I'm just giving it a little fill-in. I think that'll work. Down here, it's a little faint, but like I said, I think that'll be fine. Okay, now she needs the top of her dress. And we've kind of got two choices. Well, we've got three. We could do another mask. But I kind of like this. Bring it up towards her throat. Now, it's not the same as this because that one's upside down. This one's going to be right side up. And that in itself is going to make a difference. All right. Give it a press. Good. A little more. Because she's kind of swinging. And there. Okay. I know it looks confusing, but that's why we're going to add some color. Okay, I'm just going to move all this stamping stuff out of our way. There. Now we're not going to feel quite as crowded. All right, now let's take our mask off. And there's our first dress. I'm going to start with that first dress. I'm just grabbing a round brush and I need a color. And I think I'm going to make her dress orange. So I'm going into this orange. It's dry, bone dry. So I'm using water here. Just activating it a bit. Okay. I'm gonna just put some of this pigment here because there's no sense in wasting it. And I'm going into the dress. I am not going with any exact lines. Now, if you've used one of those distress inks, this is when you may want to hit it first with your heat gun or just a hair dryer or whatever, just to get it dry, and then you'll have a lot less smearing. Okay, more orange, and I can see that her dress goes this way. Nice. All right, a little more pigment. And I'm holding the back of my brush and I'm just letting it flow. Just got a little swing thing here. Pretty little swing thing there. A little water. Too dry. There we go. Nice. Already you can now see the differences in the dresses, right? You sure can. And it's like the shading and the design, all done for us. All done for us with these beautiful stamps. Okay. There she is. Nice. Okay. Now, her throat isn't touching the dress. I could start working on her head, but I'm going to move over here. And I'm going to, oh, okay, I see something. See right here? The mask was there, but there wasn't a stamp, but I'm going to go ahead there, like that. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go over here. And I'm going to avoid the orange, at least for a little while. And I'm going to go with a blue. This is kind of, I think, a tealy turquoisey blue. I'm getting little spots because I'm holding my brush and stuff over the, I don't care. I don't know if you can see them, but they're there. All right, now I'm going to work around her flowers that are up top like that. And then I may hit that with a different color. We'll see. But let's get this flourishy dress. Oh, so pretty. I love color. Just kind of avoiding the orange for right now. But if I hit it, I'm not going to cry. And I'm not going to throw my picture away. Oh, no. Not at all. More water. Now I'm going to work around some of this again. And I'm going to get a little closer. Okay. Oh, she's just gorgeous. All right, her. I'm gonna go with like a reddish color, I think. I think there's some red hiding under here. Aha! Okay, I'm going for this very bottom one. Ooh, splash, splash, splash. That's okay. And I'm thinking I'm gonna leave her flower on top a different color like I did the other one. And I'm just trying not to touch the orange yet. The orange is still shiny, so I know it's still watery. I'm loving these girls. Isn't this just a fun little watercolor, stamping, mixed media kind of project? I've got a lot of pigment on the page, so I'm just touching the water and moving it around. Now I'm gonna dip into that, just the tip, and see what I can do to get this a little closer. And if the red mixes with the orange, it's not as strong as if the blue did. She's got a fluffy dress. Look at our girls. Okay, now let's do something with this. There's like what was the top of the flower, and then there's like this ruffle. So I'm going to take kind of a kind of maybe a ochre color, maybe like this, kind of a yellow ochre color. I have no idea what this company would call this color, but that's what I'm calling it. And I'm just going to do this part. And then I'm rinsing my brush. I have yellow here, so I'm just going to use it up. And if these blend, good, because I think it'll kind of look like a shadow. Now, you can do this. I know you can. And I'm going right up to her chin with the yellow. What do you think? To tell you the truth, they don't even need arms, but we're going to put some in. Not to worry. All right, this flower. Let's see. I have, I'm looking. I don't want to use a green because I think it'll look like Christmas. And brown doesn't send me. Maybe just a blue that is like totally different from the blue that we had. Can we try for that? Okay, right here. I think this is kind of a aquamarine or some kind of a blue. And I'm going to just do the whole flower. Yeah, I'd call this kind of an aquamarine-ish. A little bit of the red got in there. That's okay. I'm just going to grab some more blue. I just rinsed it out a tiny bit. But again, this could be kind of sheer, and so the red is kind of showing through, and I don't really mind that. Nice. Okay. Now, her orange. Let's just change this top part up just a little bit. And I used that orange. So I'm going to go way over here. And this is kind of an orangish reddish color. And I'm going to mix it right here. And I'm going to add more water just to make it watery. And I'm hoping it's a little bit of a different color, but it might not be. We'll see. Not much. That's okay. I'm going to get it all wet with this color. And I'm going to go into that yellow that was on my palette that I used over here. Can we brighten it up with that a little bit? Not really. That's all right. I'm going to add just some like this. Some little lines. Okay. Now, I got to zhuzh that up. All right, I've got a red on my palette here. And I'm just going to touch right here along the bottom. And then I'm going to push it up. Just like this. It's nice and wet. And that's going to blur nice. There. Good. Little white spot here. Similar red. So, okay, I'm going to take some of that blue that I started with a long time ago. Now, I don't remember if I used this one or this one, but I think I used this one. It doesn't matter. And I'm just going to go in a little bit closer to the orange now. Sweet. Look at our girls. They are dressed up dolls. Yes, they are. All right, let's get some arms on them. I'm going to do this one, and her arm is just going to kind of go behind. And we'll put this arm up like that. And this one, I'm just going to put her arm, one arm over here. And another like hers. And this one, see, I can see her shoulder mark. Thumbs go on the inside. And where's her shoulder mark? Okay, so I'm going to find, there's a tan color on here. And I'm going to start with it. And it's nice for their heads. See? A little more pigment. Yeah. Beautiful. And a little more pigment. Working more dry. And I'm putting a little heft. I'm not going as thin as we did before. Just because. And here. See, it's kind of like a strapless dress. And I'm going to give her throat just a little more. Go back up into her head here. There she is. How about her? Grabbing that same tan, but I'm gonna Just to change it up, I'm adding some of that orange that I've already got on my palette. Let's get that orange. Okay. It may not look too different. That's okay. And again, I'm making her throat a little bit more hefty than just a line. And there's her hand. And give her more of a shouldery kind of a feel. And then this arm is just right here. Looking good, ladies, looking good. There's a little dot right there, and the only reason why I'm blurring it out is I don't want it to look like a strange eye. Okay, and these colors are different. All right, going back into that tan, and I've got a smidge of blue here. I'm mixing it with that. Grab some of this leftover orange. Add some yellow. More orange. This is how I clean out a palette. Okay, good. And head. Nice. Where's my color? Over here. Nice. Another arm. A little more shoulder than we had in the other dolls. Look at our dressed up dolls. Oh, I love them. Now, I'm going to pick this red back up, wet brush, few red splatters near her. I'm going to go pick up that blue, few blue splatters towards her. And now I'm going to pick up that orange. And what am I going to say? Few orange splatters by her. And to me, that just gives them a little movement, a little atmosphere. And there are our beautiful dressed up dolls. You'll have to let me know what you think. Please hit the like, subscribe. Today's a perfect day to subscribe. Another beginner watercolor. And if you look right down here, there's going to be another video picked out for you. I'll see you over there.